Hi, I'm Luke Akehurst. I'm the director of We Believe in Israel. I just wanted to say a few things about the Israeli general election to bring you up to speed with the results that we've had overnight. The first thing is to note the obvious, really, but people tend to forget it, that Israel is the only democracy in a region of autocracies and dictatorships. So it's something to be celebrated that people went to the polls in a free election after a very vibrant national debate, and indeed they might well be bringing about a change of government democratically. This is something that other nations in the region can only aspire to. So this was the second general election in a year because there was no stable government formed after the general election in April. And surprisingly, given people had to vote twice in 1 year, the turnout went up by 1.5%. There was a particular increase in turnout from Arab citizens of Israel. People may be speculating that this could be because of Prime Minister Netanyahu's rhetoric during the campaign, which was perceived to be hostile to the Arab community, talking about annexation of parts of the West Bank, and this may have backfired and inspired a higher Arab turnout. But that means that the joint list of Arab parties is now the third largest party in the Knesset, and could form the official opposition if there's a grand coalition between the two main parties. As for the two main parties, it's really neck and neck between the centre-left Blue and White Party and Netanyahu's centre-right Likud Party. And indeed, we don't have the final results yet, but some of the interim results are suggesting that Blue and White might actually emerge as the largest party. The key thing to understand is that Netanyahu was trying to break a deadlock from the last election, where because another centre-right party leader, Avigdor Lieberman, wouldn't go into coalition with him because Lieberman's pushing a secular agenda and didn't want to be in the same coalition as ultra-religious parties. That meant that Netanyahu tried to break the deadlock by having a second election where he was hoping that the right and the religious parties by themselves would get to 61 seats. They've completely failed to do that. They're on, say, around about 55 or 56, and the centre-left bloc of parties, including the Arab parties, is on something similar, leaving Lieberman with a far larger block of seats than he had last time, with 9, holding the balance of power. So there are lots of different permutations that could happen. Netanyahu could somehow assemble a new coalition. There could be a grand coalition. There might even be some kind of centre-left coalition, but with Lieberman involved in it. We won't know for a while yet because Israel has proportional representation, so it's always a hung parliament, lots of parties having to negotiate. But what we do know for certain is that the gambit of holding a second election in order to get to 61 hasn't worked for Netanyahu, so this is a big rejection of what he was trying to do by the Israeli electorate. And after a campaign that was slow to get started, it was a rather quiet campaign during the summer, Israeli politics is now very interesting, exciting, and the world is looking, thinking, is this the time, after 10 years of a lot of stability with one Prime Minister, that change could be on the way?